Hi guys, at the end of this video you are going to have some sort of a Jarvis like this, where you are going to insert your questions in the form of text or voice messages, and then you're gonna get your output in the form of text and voice messages.
Babe, my favorite food is definitely pasta carbonara. I could eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay, let's send another message like what is the capital of India. So the input is what is the capital of India, and the output is honey. That's easy, it's Delhi of course, and we get the output here and the voice as well. Let's have a listen to the voice.
Honey, that's easy. It's Delhi, of course.
So that is pretty cool. In this video we are going to see each and every step. You're going to go very slow and see each and every step on how to create this beautiful chatbot, or Jarvis if you like to call it so. So the entire thing, the user interface will be on Telegram. You can go and have the code run on any other UI, but for this video I have chosen Telegram for its easy interface. And so what we have the voice as input, and this goes to the deepgram. So this is a service which can convert your text to voice and voice to text. You can go and have a login with your own email, and you'll get $200 of credit, and then you can use the APIs here, create a new API, and you are good to get started. So this is deepgram, which can convert your voice to text and your text to voice as well. So again, we have the voice input. This is converted to text. Then this text is fed to the LLM, which we are going to use a very fast LLM here, an inference engine known as groq. I'm sure you know this. And once we have the output from the groq, we are going to pass this text, the output, to the deepgram library, and then we are going to have the outputs here. So voice in, voice out, or we can have a text in, text out, or text in, voice out, or voice in, text out. So any of these configurations is possible. Ultimately what we have is we'll have a Telegram bot, and it will be fun to build along with me. So let's get started and let's move to the code section. So before we move on to the code section, I want to introduce you to groq as well. So this is groq API. If you go to groq API reference, then you can see, okay, this is console.groq.com. You can just log in and create an API from here. So this is an LLM inference engine. It's very fast. It has its dedicated cards for processing language processing task. So let me close everything, and then I'm going to start everything so that you have the correct picture and interpretation of how to code everything from start to finish. So I'm going to open up the folder. So I have this folder where I've written all the codes, and then I'm going to open this, so cmd, and I'm going to say code space dot and press enter. This is going to load up my files. So I'm going to close everything, and these are my files. So the first and foremost thing that I need to do is to set up the requirements. So we have these requirements. So Python, Telegram, I'm going to just screencast mode. I'll just keep it on so that you can see whatever I'm pressing on my keyboard. So this is the requirements here. So Python, Telegram bot, we are going to use the environment variables. So python.env. We're going to use the groq inference engine, and then we're going to use deepgram SDK. So these are the versions as of today. If someone is doing this a month later, if these versions do not match, there would be some kind of issue. So I'm freezing the versions here, and you can use it later as well. So before we do anything, we need to create a new environment. So I have an Conda already installed. So once you have that, you can check the list of environments. So Conda info-envs, and there I have created a new environment known as Telegram here. So what I can do is Conda create -n Telegram, the name of the environment, and you can say Python 3.11 and -y. If you run this is going to open up or create a new environment, Conda environment known as Telegram, and afterwards you can do Conda activate Telegram. Okay, so then you will have this Telegram here. So I have done all the necessary steps beforehand, so I'm just going to run the installation. So pip install -r requirements.txt. so this is going to install all the requirements. I already have installed them, so this is pretty fast for me. So this step is done. Next we would need the environment variables. So the environment variables, deepgram environment variable API key, we can get it from the website of deepgram. So I am going to go to deepgram here, go to API keys, create a new API key, put in a name here, let's say prompt2, and then let's say I select this owner and set the expiration to just 1 day and create this key. So I copy paste this key, and I know it is not going to be visible later, so I'm going to just paste it here. Okay, and then we have this groq API key as well. I go ahead to groq cloud, go to API key section, create the API key, put in some name here, doesn't matter, anything you can put. So just going to copy this code and paste it here. So that's done. So the environment variable is done, the requirements are installed. Now let us move to the boilerplate app, and this is where we are going to run the Telegram. So here I can do Alt Z to show everything and the word wrap. So here we import logging, which I think I have not used logging here. From Telegram we import the update. From telegram.ext we import different applications, different command handlers. So these are standard libraries, standard class from the Telegram libraries that we need to do. Now this bot token is fixed for a particular bot, and we will see in a short while how we create one bot for you. Then we have these asynchronous functions. So we have this asynchronous start function, and then we have this bot reply function, and this is the main function. So there are 3 functions, and then we start up the main function. If a name is equal to main, we start up this function. So let's look at this function first. So main, this is the main function. This is the application builder. We just set the bot token here. The bot token is defined here, and we'll see how we get this bot token in a while. So we build this application. Now once we build this application, we can use this application to do different things. For example, we can use this application to run the start function. So this is the start function. We can use this handler to run the bot reply function. This is a bot reply function. Now what these two means is that this bot reply only takes in text as an input, and it ignores any command, and only it sees the text inputs. So we have the bot reply here. So I hope this is clear, and this is to run until the user presses Ctrl C. So this is for pulling the runs. Okay, one important thing that I would like to mention here is that when we run this type of a configuration, then it doesn't matter, let's say 5 people are talking with this bot, it will reply to all the 5 individuals on a separate thread. That is the beauty of this code. So anyhow, let's get started with the start code. So in the start, what I've done is just get the user name. So update.effective user. So this is a user, and then what you're going to do is we update message and reply HTML, and then we just reply as hi user.mention HTML, the username here, and how have you been, my love. So we just put this as output. So only this part, hi prompt engineer, how have you been. So this is the output. Once you do that, we have this another photo as well. So this is a photo that I've taken from Civit AI. You can put in any photo. but we send this photo as well. So whenever we use an asynchronous function, we need to put in await here. So context.bot send photo, and we are sending the photo. We have this photo here. So it will be clear once I run this. So before we go and discuss the bot reply function, let us have a look at the start function here. So before that, even we need to understand how we got this bot token. So essentially, if I open up a Telegram application that I have running on my PC, then we can go to a bot known as a bot father here. So we can definitely control everything with the bot father. So for example, we can go to menu and just create a new bot. So I want to create a new bot, so please choose a name. So let's say I give a name of prompt YouTube. How does this name sound? Okay, good. Now let's choose a username for your bot. It must end with bot. So why not prompt YouTube bot? Okay, so the bot has been created. I'm going to delete the previous bot so as to make it more clear. So we can chat with the bot father, who is the handler of all the bots on this planet on Telegram. Now what you can do is that since I've created a new bot, this is the bot ID that we need, and the name of the bot is, I'm just going to copy this and paste it here first. Okay, so that's done. Now the name of the bot is prompt underscore YouTube underscore bot. So if you want to share your bot with others, you can just tell the person to chat with this part of the bot. So with this bot, prompt underscore YouTube underscore bot. Okay. Okay, at this point of time, what I can do is I'm gonna go to prompt underscore YouTube underscore bot, and I need to keep this running. So Python app boilerplate.py, I just ran this on the terminal, and then if I click on start here, so /start is a command. So hi prompt engineer, so which means it extracted the name here. So hi, this is the prompt engineer, how have you been, my love? And then we are sending this photo here. So that is great. So this is the start part of the bot. Next we are going to look at the bot reply. So how to get this reply? So what do you mean by reply? So this reply, we take the user first. So there's a user, and then we take the user's input, which is a text input. So anything which has been updated in the form of text, if it is not empty, then we take that update.message.text as a user input, and an LLM reply is just a user input in this case, but LLM reply is will be the output after it is processed, after the user input is processed essentially. But now this is just a boilerplate, so we will return whatever the input that we get from the user. We are going to return this, so that therefore this LLM reply is equal to user input here, and then we are going to pass this to the output of the chatbot. So we're going to pass the LLM reply. So essentially it should echo whatever I'm typing as of now. So we have this app now. This is still running. I'll now go back to the Telegram app here, and if I say, let's say type anything, let's say I type how are you doing, then it should return the same to me. So you have your boilerplate running, and this is pretty good. So in the next video we are going to look at the voice capability, essentially taking in text and voice as input and returning text and voice as output. So I'm going to break this video into two parts. The first, today we have worked with the boilerplate, and in the next video we are going to look at the actual voice interfacing and getting everything ready. So the boilerplate is ready, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Subscribe to my channel, subscribe on my Patreon to support me in all my efforts. Now all these codes will be available in the Patreon section. If you go to my Patreon, I upload the relevant codes So this is the code that is relevant to the voice and text chatbot Jarvis. And then you can find this code here. You can just download the code and get started on adding new functionalities. For now it's voice and text, but you can add in more functionalities as shown in the recent demo of OpenAI with its GPT-4o, or by Google with its different new features. So having said that, please watch the next video. I'm really excited to show you everything and each and every line of this code. Thank you.